Mary, played by Zoe Perry, reveals young Sheldon's biggest secret for the first time in an unexpected way. It's been going on for 3 years. Season 7 of Young Sheldon begins with Mary surprisingly pointing out the show's biggest issue, which has been holding it back for 3 years. Sheldon and the Coopers' adventure in Texas is finally coming to a close as the Big Bang Theory prequel approaches its conclusion run. Due to Sheldon's impending transfer to Pasadena, California for graduate school and George's impending death, CBS is compelled by canon to cancel the series. The question of how young Sheldon will incorporate plot points from Big Bang Theory into its own narrative is open at this time. The approaching West Coast move of the boy genius from Texas is heavily influenced by Mary and Sheldon's storyline in Germany. Spending a few episodes apart as the Coopers wrap up young Sheldon's final season sounds contradictory, but it's necessary for the story. The writers have thankfully discovered methods to make the less-than-ideal setup intriguing, such as the surprise rekindling of Mary and George's passion through letter writing. The new means of communication between the pair also reveal the unflattering reality of young Sheldon's tale throughout his later years. A strudel and a hot American boy toy, Episode 3 of Season 7 of Young Sheldon features George and Mary catching up via letter writing. In her response to her husband, Mary mentions that this situation is reminiscent of when you were in Vietnam. Except this time, I'm the one in a foreign country, and the enemy is Sheldon. Georgie finds amusement in his wife's remark. Regardless of how the show portrays it, the significance of the moment is considerably greater than how quickly the series moves on. Mary has a tendency to smother the young brilliance, as is well known among the Coopers. The fact that Sheldon is having trouble at school in Germany is partly related to her overprotectiveness. Since Mary and George often argue over how to treat their son, George's ability to hear her say that Sheldon is being difficult is evidence of how frustrating he has grown. When Sheldon enrolled at East Texas Tech University, a new chapter in his life began. Even though he had all the makings of Jim Parsons' version of the role, Ian Armitage's earlier portrayal was endearing despite his rudeness and eccentricity. He was still an empathetic figure before then. There were unexpectedly moving moments in young Sheldon when he would show his emotions, but he remained a one-dimensional brat throughout the show. Nothing that Armitage does in Young Sheldon contributes to Sheldon's declining popularity. The actor's performance is outstanding. The storyline of the show is the real problem. As it has evolved, several branches of the Cooper family have had their tales told, and occasionally those tales are more interesting than the one about the great genius's struggles as an undergraduate at East Texas Tech. It didn't help that he spent much of the last few seasons of Young Sheldon apart from his family, which only served to further isolate him and limit his chances of socializing with them.